Yo, what's good, team? Evan here. I just got back from playing the local live tourney that I was inspired to play by my The Mission video. I was telling you guys about the importance of hitting those really soft spots, and I looked at the calendar and I saw a good little $330 tournament, so I figured why not? Let's go hit it up. This is my card protector from the tournament. It was on one of those electronic poker tables where you don't actually get cards, but you get, it's all digital. So you get digital cards and you have to tap the table to peel your hand up. It's pretty funny. So with this, what you do is you just leave it on top of your spot, and that way when you peel your hand, the person beside you can't just look over and see because it's blocked, and that way you can just keep it there the whole time and you tap. It was weird. It was like playing poker on like a Palm Pilot. And it definitely wasn't like the purest form of poker. It definitely wasn't the best form of poker. And the guy I was with was like, bro, you know, how are we going to play this thing with no chips and no cards? But there was something that was pretty cool about the experience, and that on these electronic poker tables, you get a lot more information. So we're playing a tournament, and during the hands, you get the pot size. You can see everyone's stack size, which is very helpful. But also they have the leaderboard. They have the blind counter. The blind structure, so you can see what all the upcoming levels are, and you can also see how long it is until the next blind comes in. You can also see the payout structure. And this really helped me out with something today, especially having the pot size right there, was that it allowed me to tune into the mathematics of the game a little bit more. Also, when you get all in, it shows your hand percentage for winning. And this really made it a lot clearer, you know, how close a lot of spots are, and when it's good to peel pre-flop in spots that may seem counterintuitive because we're out of position or we have possibly a really easily dominated hand, sometimes the odds justify calling. And I thought that was really cool. It's probably not a form of poker I'd play again, and for those of you who have experienced it, I'd love to hear your thoughts about playing on those machines. But it did get me thinking. When you have all this information, you can play a lot better. And when we're playing poker, a lot of us miss out on a lot of information for one reason or another. The more beginner players don't even know the information that they're missing out on. And I know that those times when I'm factoring all the information and then everything's firing on all cylinders, I play so much better. There are some times where I've played so far above the rail, it's been out of this world. And I was actually inspired to make another video for you guys upon returning from Vegas, reviewing a tournament that I got second place on, Bovada, before I left for Vegas. I went to find the hand history, and unfortunately I wasn't able to get it, which really upset me because I played so good in this tournament. You know, I was factoring in people's emotional states, financial incentives in the tournament, place in the field, timing tells, you know, all the chat tells, all these things that, you know, people would call the game flow, and it led to me playing an absolutely excellent tournament. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to get that. So I wanted to do the next best thing and do a service of showing you guys what a really top shelf tournament is. So I went through my database and I was able to find a tournament that I think would be a pretty good review. It's the second time that I won the Sunday Showdown for like, I don't know, 7,200 euros or something. But I was incorporating a lot of concepts like what I was talking about, and I played really good, and I wanted to share this with you. And while we're on this topic of playing really good, I would like you to take a minute to think, when was the last time that you played your best session? You know, it's not necessarily going to be the time that you won the most money or that you got first place in the tournament, but you'll be able to remember what it was because at the end of the session, you just felt so good. You're like, man, I was on point. I put people on ranges. I put people on specific hands, you know. I was using the math, but I was so dialed in that I was able to use all the other hidden information to get rid of those uncertainties and go beyond the math and get extremely specific in my decisions. And you just felt like the man or the woman, you know, after the session was done. And I'd like you to go back and try to remember that session. And just, you know, remember how it felt and all that. So it's important to do this because sometimes we lose track of our abilities, and it's important to ride the momentum when we have it. But when we lose it, it's important to remember that, you know, when we feel good, we play good, and that we are capable of playing very well and doing really good things. So what I'm going to do now that I found this hand history is I'm going to go ahead and make a hand history review of that and take my time and give it the review that it deserves so I can talk about all the factors and not necessarily rush through it and talk about all the extra things that you can be thinking about to really play your best. You know, dialing into all those things, but then also being willing to act on the information. Because a lot of times we think we see it and we're like, I don't know if I'm going to do it. You know, you want to be fearless and confident, but at the same time, you got to be controlled, and you can't be too reckless with it. Because if you do that, you're just throwing it away, which is a little bit of what I did today. Yeah, so I'm going to work on that, and I would encourage you to go through your database and try to find that session where you played your absolute best and pick out some of the hands where you think you made really good decisions. Not necessarily the biggest pots, but the ones that you think you were really on point and really got the mathematics and your opponent's reads down. And see how it makes you feel after you review that. And if you don't have a session that's really on that level, by all means, feel free to watch my video that's going to come out and get inspired by that to go and play on that level. Or just go put in some sessions when you're in a really good zone, you know, after having listened to that Peak Performance Poker or something, and see what you can come back with and see if you get something in the next couple of weeks. And in the meantime, so that you guys can get the maximum out of the experience, I'm going to make a quick video on how to make a poker video, you know, what recording software to use, what buttons to click, and just basically walk you through the process so that you guys can do exactly what I'm doing with my, you know, top hand history of last year, and allowing you to get the same, because I know I'm going to have a lot of momentum after doing so and be confident to play and eager to play and really get in there and, you know, just play my best and learn more and incorporate all these new things. And I want you to be able to do the same for yourself. So, yeah, remember, find that session and go through it and then think about how you felt after and just really, really sit in it and really bask in it. And just remember that you are capable of that, because if you did it once before, you're definitely able to do it again, because you are capable of doing great things and playing incredibly good poker. All right, so thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next video. Evan4Grips.com. Say in peace.